This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded July 21st, 2015, episode 259. No more naming.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
Just us again.
Did
we have two guest episodes in a row?
Augmented alliteration.
Obliteration.
Auto death.
Right. I wasn't alliterative there because, we've given that up, haven't we?
256 episodes in, and we are no more with the alliteration. So
we just decided, it was sort of fun at the time.
It was, yeah. No, it was. It was. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I learned a lot of new words, and
yeah. If people don't know what we're talking about, it's where we put the title of the show. In fact, that was the only title of the show for a long time. We'd use these weird-ass words.
Yeah.
And,
always three in threes, right? It would be
in threes. So
all started
that's
with the same letter. Yep.
Or started with the same letter, hence the definition of the word.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just gotten meh.
Yeah. Well,
and we always used to struggle about making them up, didn't we? After the show, we always used to argue what should
for a
it
long
be?
time we
Who
did.
can come up with the best word? And then I just left it up to you, and you just pick something random and meh.
I will. Oh man, this is a momentous day. I will reveal my sources finally, Dave.
Oh, we're going to reveal our unusual word sources.
Yes.
Okay, go for it. It's not hard. Just Google unusual words
right.
or something.
Well, not even that. It's like if you just search for the words that were in our titles, it would be like,
yep.
Oh yeah, those only exist one place. But it was frontistery.info, and I will post a link to that. It's a wonderful site. You can find tons of weird and wonderful words there. Frontistery.info, and then the other one. What was the other one? It was a
I haven't used
Luciferous.
It for a year. Luciferous. Yep. Luciferous
legolepsy. That's right. Legolepsy, which means like the bringing light to words. Like that's like the idea. Really weird, but yeah, both of those were our go-to, and now they are exposed to the world, so they are no longer valid for us.
We might still use it occasionally if it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think honestly, if people want to learn like weird words, it's a cool place to learn about them. So yeah. Speaking of,
you got to always wonder, were they actually genuine? Like, or were people just like making shit up and just adding random words to like? Are these in any dictionaries anyway? We don't actually know.
A lot of the times
these two.
Yeah, so a lot of the times I would search for a word and then type definition afterwards, and like the only source would be this
unusual word website.
Yeah, exactly. And then it would have it would have like an old Norse definition or an old old Latin definition, that kind of thing. So weird, old words. But the thing I learned actually as a point of learning is, you can just make up words, and a lot of people just go along with it. So like seriously, I'm not even close to comparing myself, but like. A lot of the definitions, you'd be like, you go look up, you type it in, look it up, and be like, oh yeah, William Shakespeare just kind of made up this word. He would just like make it up,
right?
And so that's what we started doing too. We're just like, hey, we just make up words. This is great. You need a new tense. You just kind of follow the rules, and you're like, yeah, okay, well, it was this, and now it's this, and that's a new word.
And,
so
nothing wrong with that. That's it. Languages are always evolving there,
It is, but actually, even better on the web, it's just you need to be unique no matter what. So that's the real thing.
Right, yep.
So,
you can't buy a domain name with regular words these days, can you?
No, exactly.
You got to have an unusual company name or something.
Of weird things and weirdos, we also had the benefit of our weirdo audience giving us their weirdo opinions about our weirdo show. And I do want to publicly say thank you to everyone.
It's cool.
We had 600 plus people, almost 700, respond to us, and we really, really, really appreciate it.
679.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
679.
awesome.
And, yep.
So we really appreciate that because, I mean, like, honestly, it helps us kind of understand our audience a little better and, just kind of get some really good feedback. Actually, the most interesting thing about this is that this time we had an open forum for what people work on, and like that, honestly, I don't know why I didn't do that before, because we like hearing just about what people work on. It's like, wow, there's just such a cool variation in the different amount of things that people are working on, and it's really encouraging.
Yeah. The engineering field is unlimited. People, a lot of students are saying, "Oh, what field can I get into?" Anything you could possibly imagine, and then some.
Right.
You
could become
it's crazy.
A summer intern at an electric bike shop. Or I'm just reading these randomly now.
Oh, right. Just random.
You could work in pizza delivery, but you work on old game systems and electronics. Like, that's awesome.
Right.
Like all these things, let's see. There was one that was like, hey, I'm the CEO of this huge web company. I'm like, what? Really?
Right.
Like, yeah, seriously. Like, it was like someone who's a hobbyist, but they're a CEO of like a huge, like literally a huge web company.
That's great.
It was weird.
or you can end up as an unemployed university graduate, as somebody's put here.
Yeah, but I mean, but the fact that you're,
I know.
But if that is your case, like the fact that you're listening to this and you give a shit, like you're not going to be unemployed long. Like, honestly, if you're building stuff, if you're listening to the electronics podcast and you're interested, like that's going to get you really far, honestly.
Here's a CTO at a software company. They don't say which software company, but a CTO at a software company. They listen to the Amp Hour.
And now what I'm imagining is everybody bracing themselves. They're like, oh, I filled out the survey. Are they going to read my thing?
Oh, right. Yeah, well, no, it's just we haven't looked through it. Well, we have looked through it beforehand, but I'm just scrolling through randomly now.
Me too.
Somebody is in espresso parts sales. they sell parts for espresso machines, but they're like, and their comment is, we should have fewer guests.
That's been an interesting mix. So first off, that was also what informed partially, but not completely. The survey. You always get people that are like, I hate the three word names, blah blah blah. I think that's just focusing on the wrong thing. But yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of people said, oh, we want more guests. Some people said we want fewer guests, and so it kind of balanced out. Yeah. And you get the same, you get what you get, folks. But yeah, no, seriously, there's just so much like interesting stuff here. I really enjoy so there's a question on there, what's your least favorite part of the show? I always love asking that because...
Yeah, they're as polarized answers as anything else.
Yeah, mostly
almost everything
Dave.
We asked is...
Dave is the answer. No, I'm just kidding. So a lot of it's Chris is whining a lot too, and but like honestly, it's just like it's interesting because everybody comes in with a different perspective. No one really holds back. Which I appreciate as well. Engineers usually don't.
By the way, people, the whining part, try doing like 256 episodes over 5 years and you'll whine too. You'll eventually whine too. Trust us. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a chief IC designer for a fabulous IC company.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
There you go. And they want Bill Mensch and Fran Blanche as guests on the show. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get Fran on.
Yeah, I mean, everyone.
She's a good friend of ours.
So that's another thing we did different this year is we asked for... So we actually have a running list of people that we asked for suggestions about potential guests and stuff like that. Never ceases to amaze me how many people suggest people that have already been on the show. And I don't think it's that they're actually suggesting that they be on again. I think it's just they haven't heard the old shows. So
I mean, how many people have listened to every single episode? It'd be incredibly small percentage.
God help the ones who do,
Yeah, exactly. But I'm surprised at the number of people who've said, not surprised at the number because I don't know the number, but they seem to stand out to me. They say, I've watched every one of your videos, and I'm going, either you're very dedicated
or you're a liar.
Bullshitting.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Because there's like over 800 videos or something. You know, you tell me you've watched every one.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot, man.
Anyways.
I'm sure there are those that have done that, but anyway. So.
So we really do
fascinating.
appreciate this. So and a lot of this stuff we will use this for guests. We do have a running list of guests. So if you didn't fill out the survey, I think the survey's still open if people are still interested. But if you didn't fill out the survey, there's always a running list of guests. You can see who have already been suggested there. We always love.
Can we
feedback
make some of it public? I mean, because there's no confidential information on here, is there?
No, I don't think so. No. Yeah. But,
yes. Sorry, people's emails are on here, but
but you don't have to put that in though. So.
Well, some people's emails are on here.
Yeah.
But
the survey's not public. The
so,
results are not public. That's what I.
No, it's optional. But I wouldn't want to release this and then put people's email.
Oh no. Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
But can we? Can we make some of them public? Just
so
for
what
fun?
we'll do is what we usually done in the past. Like there's a
why not? I don't know.
There's a summary that you can get of the Google Forms and just kind of how people listen and stuff like that. Actually, the surprising, not surprising, well, maybe surprising. We used to have about 5% female listenership.
So we'll release summary.
Yeah, now
does it draw graphs and things? Doesn't it draw?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well now there's only 10 female responders who said they were female. 10 out of 670 something.
Right.
That's not many.
Right. It's quite low. I don't know what to do about that. I hope more females get into electronics or listen to the show or respond to the survey in the future.
Well, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, it's like, what do we do? Go out there campaigning for more female viewers? It's...
I don't know. I don't know what to do about the low female listenership. If people do have suggestions, we always have on the website. If people don't know, we always take feedback on the website. It's just feedback@theamphour.com, or there is a link on theamphour.com. You can just go click on the mail button in the upper right corner.
And that automatically gets sent to both of us.
Yeah, or Twitter or wherever else. I mean, honestly, we take feedback a lot of different places, but we would. I mean, we want the diversity of gender and location and everything else, right? I mean, but we feel a little helpless against it. So, anyways, we'll try and post some of these interesting responses.
All we can do is just continue to support, females doing this sort of stuff. I mean, there's no there's no law that says, the industry has to be 50-50. Every industry has to be 50-50 female male. It's like, it is what it is. As long as, people are encouraged.
Yeah, no, I think support, you're right. Support is the first step, for sure.
Equal opportunity and everything else, right?
Right,
and then apart from that, then it is what it is. I mean, certain industries just... might be female-dominated, others might be male-dominated for various reasons. As long as everyone has equal opportunity and there's no discrimination, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone has equal support, then, well, it turns out then it is what it is. So...
Yeah, and that's definitely the best start there, so... Looking at age, it looks like, we've got a really... So with 600-plus people, we have a nice solid distribution there. You just popped
that graph up. We're looking at this through Google spreadsheety thing, and Chris just did I presume you did, histogram of age, and it just automatically popped up on mine. Oh, yeah. I love it. All this, we can edit the document at the same time. It works. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, so histogram looks like about 30s or so. I mean,
about 30 is the peak.
30
is the peak,
but,
and
with
the majority downside is above 30.
Yeah.
So it drops off very quickly below. Holy crap, we're getting up to... Oh, come on. Who's 120? Who's
That's
130
what I put as the max,
years old?
So someone didn't... They didn't put an age in, and they saw the limit was from 0 to 120, and they put in 120, so... Snarky folks.
Yep.
Anyways, that's enough survey. But like I said, thank you very much for everyone who put into that. You can still do it. Please don't be too snarky. If you haven't done it yet, please be truthful. That's the most helpful thing we can get there. And we do like that. I don't
mind people being snarky. It's funny when I read through.
Yeah, true.
It's hilarious.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So what else is new? So we should mention from 2 episodes ago, Fabienne, who was on the show, or Fabs, or Fabs, as Dave says, because he couldn't say Fabs.
Fabs.
Fabs, you're an Aussie now. Fabs. Just got funded, so that was great. So everybody,
awesome.
Thanks to everyone who submitted that. That was good.
And because she was like a fair bit behind, wasn't she?
Yeah, I was really worried actually. I had signed up and I was like, I'm not getting a scarf, man. I'm gonna have a cold neck this winter. So
that's our. Did we do that?
No,
did the
I
Power
think
of the Amp our audience?
No, I don't think. I think we contributed, but we did not. No, that was not us.
Right.
It was posted on Wolfram Alpha today, so I think that might have had a slightly bigger impact than
Wolfram Alpha. That's I didn't know that was like a blog thing.
Yeah, they have a blog. Like a bunch of math nerds.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
With
right.
disposable
totally.
income. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because they're all generally single and nerds. Yes, right. Oh, yeah, if I get this scarf, that'll really pull the chicks.
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking to Fabs on Twitter and some other friends too, and obviously you've done a Kickstarter, and you and I were talking before the show too, just about, man, Kickstarter. I know that like you said before the show, it's just,
here we go.
It's a bingo topic, but it's I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. Like, there's so many expectations there, and there's so much like crap going on there. I don't.
You were mentioning this before your show that it almost seemed like everyone you knew was getting funded.
Well, I mean, the funded part is the good part, though.
Yeah, it's good part, but you were talking about reputation if you don't deliver and all that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that's the tough part, right? I mean, like. Obviously the people that I know and like, I want them to get funded. I mean, the ones that are,
of course,
like part of accelerators and stuff like that too. Like, obviously they have marketing that helps them along to get like super funded, but like, I don't like, it just seems like it's like a terrible process. I don't know what it is about it. Like, it just, I don't know. I haven't done it.
This is why, I don't. This is the thing I've always hated. This is why I hate taking other people's money. I don't like owing people something and having the pressure to actually deliver.
I think that's what it is.
Because to me, that is not freedom.
Right.
Yeah. Some people thrive on that. I'll get the money and I'll do.
Right.
Like,
and then I'm tied in.
I want the
right?
freedom.
I have to do it.
I don't want to be tied down.
Right.
I want the freedom to be able to. If I change my mind and go, I want to do something else, and, I can go do something else, right? So, although, yes, I did do the Kickstarter and I had to deliver, but hey, I'm still proud of the fact that I'm probably the only one I know of who actually shipped on the exact day that the money came into my account for my Kickstarter campaign. I got in the $116,000 or whatever it was, minus the 8% fee or whatever, and I shipped that exact day. Well, I didn't ship them all, but I at least shipped the early backers on the exact day. Yeah. I proudly I packed them, walked down to the post office and whacked them in the post box. I was so proud of that.
Right.
And,
well, we should also mention that
I can't
Andreas...
imagine getting the money.
Right.
Hang on, I can't imagine just getting the money and then and then go, I'll figure it all out later.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I couldn't stand the pressure. It's just.
Right. So Andreas, who was on the show as well from Paralela, or Adaptiva rather, talking about the Paralela, also just wrote an article for actually kind of laying out some of the numbers on EE Times as well. So,
why I won't do another Kickstarter campaign.
Right, which is a very strong title.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
I won't call it clickbait, but it it gets a lot of comments, right? Because it's around this topic.
What is the bottom line? He actually lost money. I mean, that's the bottom.
It's just
line?
that the stress and the money, the potential
stress,
for money loss is just not worth it. So, yeah,
right, yeah. Yet everyone is obsessed these days. Like everyone who comes out of college. University thinks, I've got to do a Kickstarter.
Remember when eBay
came up
and that was the way to make money?
You would set up an eBay store. Yeah, that was 10 years ago. That was the big thing.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
eBayer.
I mean, it's similar.
It does. It's
where
very
it's just kind of like that fever pitch level of like, oh well, you could. My favorite line from Office Space. You can make $1 million. The guy made $1 million.
But the thing is, you didn't get the money for that. You had to work your ass off.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you set up some drop shipping,
Right, of course.
thing, right? But generally you worked your ass off doing that. If you've ever, like I've got like 800 feedback on eBay or something. I've bought and sold, I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay.
Right.
And I used to buy and sell test gear all the time and all sorts of stuff. And it's not easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Even with the automated tools, I was selling so much on eBay. I used the automated tools to try. Even then, it was a pain in the ass. Oh, groan! I've got to list this on eBay.
Right.
The steps you had to go through, and they changed it every month. They changed the rules every month of how it was done, and it was just it was awful.
Yeah.
To this day, I think I'm going to list another scope today on eBay, and I'm just going, groan.
I don't want to do it.
It's just painful. And of course, that market went downhill because eBay kept raising their fees. Now it's like 10% plus PayPal.
Oh, really?
Wow. Oh, yeah. And it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's absolutely cutthroat. So, there's a lot of people who quit the eBay business. They just, they were like power sellers with 50,000 feedback, and they just quit.
Right.
After
a certain point, any kind of marketplace where it's like, okay, so now you have a marketplace and you reach saturation. You're like, okay, I have a million people who are selling things, and I'm charging them 2%.
Yeah, I'm making razor-thin margins.
And you have two choices, right? You either get more people or you raise the price on the people that are selling. It's like, okay, well...
Yeah,
I guess people stop signing up. So what's the other thing I can do? Oh, okay.
When I buy something cheap on eBay, I go and I know the margin that they must be making. I'm going, why do they bother? I'm
thinking, like that wristband you did.
Thanks for sending it. Yeah, thanks for sending it to me. Yeah, $1 delivered.
$1, right? I know.
Delivered.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What, boggles the mind.
Yeah.
I can't help feel sorry for them every time I buy something on eBay. I go, yeah, thanks for making it available so cheaply to me, but I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So stop it, people. Stop getting funded. It's annoying us. Damn you.
I think it's the same, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same story where it's just like, oh, well, okay, this channel's tapped out,
Right. Yeah. Well, I tweeted this thing early this morning. There's this phone on Kickstarter. I don't want to talk too much about it, right? They put this phone on Kickstarter, right? This openy source kind of phone. Not really open source, but, their idea is like smartphone. Mm-hmm. And their idea is that, we will shape the product based on all your feedback. And
Pass.
I'm going, that's going to fail. That has got fail written. That concept has got fail written all over it. They have no idea the shitstorm that is coming towards them.
Right.
When they get
a different opinion. I want it to be purple.
with racing stripes on it.
Right, exactly.
Every single one of their backers will have a different opinion of what they want, and you won't be able to please any of them. It'll just anyway.
Yeah.
Meh.
No.
That's their whole concept for their business. Apparently, I think the odds of them they claim to have the phone actually ready for production as soon as they get the funding. So they'll push the button and the phone will get funded, and then the idea is the next phone will be based on all people's user feedback. So that's their sustaining business model, and that will fail. So I think they might initially deliver a phone, but then after that, their business model is based on shaping the phone based on
Good
user
Lord.
feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you imagine anything worse?
I could actually. Can you imagine if they did that at the chip level? Like, I mean, that kind of happens, right? I mean, like, so I'm sure that you've had people come in and be like, well...
And this is why your chip printer thing won't work, dude. Anyway, no.
Nice dig. No, so, like, you know, you have people come in and they're like, oh, like, but, like, that's the reason you hire, like, a product marketing person in the first place in a chip company, where, like, you go into a place and you say, okay, well, what do you need for your design? And someone says, well, I need something that has, you know, 2 femtoamps of bias current and it operates at 20 gigahertz and, you know, like all these like ridiculous things. But then you have to make the balance point somewhere.
Yep.
So I imagine that if you did that on a community level, you would actually you would tear your hair out, because you'd have all these people that are like, no, I need this thing. And it's like, well, at a certain point, yeah, people need the thing, but they don't actually, they won't pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference.
That's it. No, I worked in that exact field, the seismic industry, where there were like 2 major companies who would make specific Delta Sigma front-end converters specifically for specifically for us seismic market.
Yeah.
Right? So there were 2 manufacturers of these chips, basically, and they're Cirrus Logic and Analog Devices. And they were, and there were like maybe a handful of companies in the world, like, you know, 5 or 6 companies, of which I was one at Sercel/Tallies at the time. And, you know, we were driving the requirements. So you got half a dozen companies driving the requirements for these front-end chips. And, of course, you know, it's,
and it's profitable
they had
because...
to sort of balance it.
Right. Well, they know how many chips they're going to make, right? They do the math, right? Where it's like, okay, it's going to cost us $1 million for the mask and, you know, another $1 million for the engineering and marketing work and everything else. So we need to make $4 million on all these customers, and they're going to buy 20,000 chips.
On these half a dozen customers. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so 20,000 chips...
but that was no problems, because like just one of our towed array sonars behind a boat would be like up to 10,000 channels, right? So we had to buy 10,000 chips just for one system.
Oh, yeah, right.
On
one
different survey boat.
Well, yeah.
And the chips are like $100 each, $100 US each.
But that's how they set the price. That's what I'm saying. Like, they set the price based on...
of course.
If you guys are only buying 10 per tow behind the boat, then the chip would cost $10,000 each.
Yeah,
right?
Like, that's right.
That is basically a fixed cost. They knew how many chips they were going to sell. They knew how much their costs were. They're going to make a margin on that. That's how they were setting their prices, basically. So,
but even then, they had to compromise, because each company would have slightly different requirements, you know. And then they go, well, you know, we have to sort of balance out all customers, and you know.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
it was.
And in that case,
tough for them.
The only time you get in trouble is when you get like strong personalities, where it's like, no, we have to have this one company's requirements in here, and that's going to end up upset the entire development of the rest of the product, right? So if now then you, as someone buying 10,000 of a chip for a single unit that has $100 each, blah 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 blah, but now it has a thing that's totally unused by you, but that's because of the personality that ended up designing that in. That's just, it's nuts. And
it was
And I wonder.
And like, didn't they go feral? Didn't the manufacturer go feral when you didn't choose their chip? Oh,
right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Well, and I wonder, does this? I mean, like, I think it still happens in a lot of the industrial and probably military and, you know, super scientific stuff like the seismic stuff. But like, you know, so I was watching the Espressif Twitter account, right? This is how I get my information these days. But just you know, like on the consumer level, then, you know, like how those decisions are made is just kind of like, it seems like, oh well, these decisions are made on kind of covering the broadest base, right? That's kind of the opposite side of it. It's not how much can we charge? You know, we have a set of fixed costs. How much can we charge? It's how many of the pain points in the marketplace can we hit, and then hopefully there's enough uptake, because there's no way to predict it, because there's no way to have knowledge of the entire marketplace, right? So Espressif is they're the ones who make the ESP8266. And then they're talking about this new chip, and they tweeted about, what was it, 500 DMIPS, 500 KB RAM, BTLE, I assume Wi-Fi as well, you know, like...
Right.
Oh, yeah, it does say Wi-Fi, duh. But, like, and it's like, and then 500 microamp sleep. Like, honestly, I have no idea if this is actually going to come through. Obviously, I've seen the 8266. I'm impressed with that, but they're just kind of... guessing and then throwing out at the marketplace, because the costs of development is low enough that it's like, well, we'll just try it and see. Because otherwise,
exactly.
Why else would the 8266 be out in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Like that
shouldn't
exist.
If you tried to cater for everyone's,
Yeah.
They're the ones driving the requirements. We think the market might want this, so let's go.
Right. And us as the consumers of making products with it, it's like, well, we think we need what you have, but it's really based on cost. So it's like, if it's cheap enough, hell yeah, I'll take that. Like, hell yeah, I'll deal with the pain of using AT commands and like low speed, low power, whatever,
right.
Because yeah, it's good enough, right? I mean, like that's like the balance point. It's an interesting difference, kind of looking across the entire like industrial versus commercial versus, well, not even commercial, but like consumer, like just comparing those two. It's like such a drastically different set of how things are marketed, right? It's almost like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, low energy.
Okay, so this is like honestly, we should be very upfront here. This is a tweet. This is a tweet with a handwritten note above it. Like honestly, like this could be
but it shows
crap.
a board. It shows a board with a chip.
Yeah, but it shows a board with a chip. It's like, okay, well, yeah, it looks like a. I mean,
and
come on, Dave.
They're asking for beta testers. They're asking for beta testers.
Sure. Hey, Dave, I have a chip printer chip, and I'm ready to have beta testers for it, and I have a picture of that chip, and it happens to look like every other chip that's out there, but like honestly, there's no way to know until, I mean, like maybe the biggest thing is that they're asking for beta testers, but yeah,
but they're claiming very specific things. It's a Wi-Fi part, 500 DMITs, 500 kilobytes of RAM with Bluetooth, low energy, 5 microamps deep sleep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, but
and they're asking people to name it too.
Yeah,
Call it the widget. I don't know.
But what I'm saying is, if it didn't exist yet, and it doesn't apparently, or it's in process now, like that's really good marketing if it is. You know what I mean? Just say, well, we're talking about it on a podcast with 10,000 listeners, so yeah, that's good marketing.
Right.
Caught my attention, but I don't think that's really the point. I think the point is that they don't necessarily need that. I mean, there might be input behind the scenes, but really it's just like kind of the march of technology. Like, oh, well, things expect to have Bluetooth and things expect to have Wi-Fi, and it's just these things that we start to take for granted. Like even so, I've been doing a lot of stuff with switchers lately, and so I've been teaching switchers and bucks and boosts and buck boosts and stuff like that, and like kind of talk to the contextual electronics folks, and I'm just like, when you're starting out, especially, it's all avoided because it's not easy to start with, right? Obviously, switching regulators are not super easy, but now I opened up my Game Boy, my old Game Boy, and like that thing's got a linear regulator in there. It's got 4 AA's, but it's also got a linear regulator. It's burning a shitload of power because it was low cost and easy, and that's what the technology available at the time was in their late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. Like, and it's just what they put in there. And now it's like, oh, of course it's got a lithium ion charger / boost buck boost converter / blah 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 blah. Like, why wouldn't it have that? And we just take it for granted, It's just like, and it just kind of marches on down the line where each of these technologies kind of get folded into the expected thing that's going to be in every new product.
So what's your point?
Technology becomes commoditized. I mean, that's honestly what it is. It's like it's commoditization of each new technology. Like when switching converters, like they're not new, but the it's all about the cost balance against those existing technologies, right? I mean, like even new technologies like what's, I don't know how to say it. It's CUK, but the C's got a little accent mark on it. I think it's CHOOK converter. It's a type of switching converter.
Never heard of it. Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
No. Is it some brand, or is it some whiz-bang new switching topology?
It's a switching topology, and you can. Oh yeah, it's pronounced CHOOK, and I'm looking up on Wikipedia right now. The C's got a little accent on the C.
So it's like a.
I think someone mentioned it to me too, because It's Slobodan Čuk. And so I think it was when I was in Serbia, someone mentioned it to me.
Oh, yeah, Čuk. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
no, it is. It is Serbian. Yeah, so someone from Serbia.
Yeah, but they aren't new either.
They're not new either, but they're also not widely available. And why is that? Because that technology is not, and it's not like it's a hard technology either. It's just not a standardized technology. It's not a commoditized technology. And once it is, and once there's knowledge about it, including all of the training materials around it, that's when it gets integrated. And it's like, oh, well, now what are the choices? Well, we have a Buck, we have a Buck Boost, we have a Boost, we have a Čuk, we have a blah, blah, blah.
We have a Sepik, we have
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Well, doesn't the Čuk have to share magnetics?
Honestly, I
think.
I know nothing about it.
From memory,
Dave.
it's got. I think so. That's why there's probably a reason why it's not implemented typically, because it's more of a niche kind of thing.
Yeah, but you could say that about Bluetooth too, right? Bluetooth, when it started, was like, oh, well, you need this stack and you need this. I mean, maybe it's different because of software versus hardware.
That's a chip. Yeah, but that can be a chip solution in silicon. Converters they still need magnetics. They still need output caps. They still need, right? And if your converter topology, like the Čuk, like the Čuk, which I think, from memory, I'm probably going to embarrass myself here, but
it's
I think
essentially a boost converter followed by a buck converter with a capacitor to couple the energy. That's what it says.
Right.
That's Wikipedia. Okay. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Anyway, but there's probably a reason why it's not popular, and that's probably because of the logistics involved in the magnetics, perhaps, or something else.
No, sorry. I'm going to disagree with you there. I think it's always because of cost. Cost is the driver of literally everything in electronics.
Right.
And if not because of costs to the consumer, but just because of availability, right? Once you start, as you keep lowering costs down and down and down, more people into the market, and then it basically just broadens all of your choices. And then eventually, then around that, then the only point of competition is, oh, well, who has better technical content? Oh, well, we all, we have a Čuk converter now. We have a Čuk converter now. We have a Čuk converter, but we also have a technical training module where you can learn about it, right? And then it's just an arms race. Every single new feature is an arms race in the electronics community, because how else are you going to differentiate? I mean, looking at just like TI, right? How many switching converter designers are there at TI? It's got to be hundreds, literally hundreds. And that's just within one company. Now imagine that broadened across the entire industry, Analog, Linear, all of these other companies that are Diodes Inc. Like I could just keep going, like Mike Krell, everybody, because that technology is out there, and because that is the broad basis of the market, that's where you're going to really make money, and then that's where the competition is.
Right.
I don't know where we're going with this. But
so I don't know where you're going. You're just ranting
about switching converters, Dave. So we were talking about Espressif and the fact that the marketing is not based around very specific targeted customers. It's around broad customer base. Multiple customers, not just 5 targeted customers, but hundreds, thousands of customers, and then you just kind of have to take a best guess, do a survey of the marketplace, and then say, well, we're going to put Bluetooth in it. It might cost a little bit more, but it'll probably be more popular that way, And then you got to test it against that. It's a long cycle, but I think ultimately that's what benefits us. Even just the ESP8266. I mean, $4 for a Wi-Fi chip, even if it's a shitty Wi-Fi chip. Who cares?
$3, it's $250 or $3 for an assembled board, an assembled module. It's not just a chip. The chip's cheaper than that, right? But the issue is, I don't think they've sorted out all the problems with that chip, right? Yeah, everyone's raving about it. Yeah, it's near, the new de facto standard chip. But if you go read the forums and stuff, I believe everyone bitches about it because there's so many different implementations and things, and it's got bugs in this and that and all sorts of.
But that's what I'm saying about the cost thing. yeah, you could say that. You can have people complain like, oh, well, if I buy this Photon with the CC2600 or whatever it's got on there, and like all these other things, like I'm used to all this great service, but is it $4? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like cost will win every single time. And if that wasn't true, we wouldn't see it, right? We'd be like, oh well,
right.
There goes the cost. It's up to $30.
No,
it's going to $40.
This bulb was $15.
It's at $60. There it goes. It keeps going. Yeah, $30, $40. You know, like
right.
Yeah.
No, it's only popular because it's cheap, of course.
Yeah, but that's what drives everything, right? I mean, like if you read any of like the Clay Christensen stuff, right? Like all of the stuff about so like the Innovator's Dilemma is the original book.
Oh God, not the bloody Innovator's Dilemma again.
I mean, you
You worship that book.
No, actually there's a lot of faults with it, but there's some key points in there about the, you know, just the cost stuff, right? I mean, even you, Dave, you were bitching last time. You were bitching not last time, but when we had Alicia and Chris on the show, right? I paid $150 for this watch. I expected to have out of the box experience. I know you didn't pay for it. The out of box experience
I did pay for it.
Oh, you did pay for it. What did you pay for it?
Yeah, I don't know, $180 or something.
$180. You paid $180 for a absolutely perfect out of the box experience for something that should have cost $1,000, right?
What?
Seriously, like an Apple. So,
no.
Okay, so what's how about even just against an Apple Watch, right? An Apple Watch is $350 minimum versus onwards up to $10,000.
No.
But they have
you're missing the entire point.
That's what I'm saying,
They
Dave.
No, they do not have a great out-of-box experience. People say the Apple Watch is just as crap out of the boxes as the Pebble.
So that's a bad example. But what I'm saying is you're not willing to pay for the additional software and everything else.
Rubbish.
You really?
No,
you're willing to pay $500?
Dude, it's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. The price of that watch has nothing to do with the fact that it did absolutely nothing out of the box. That adds zero cost. Right?
No,
zero cost.
You're saying nothing out of the box, really? So packaging and programming and everything else, like none of that has any cost to it. Management, time, supply chain, all these things.
Not bullshit. It was their deliberate decision for this thing not to do anything out of the box. Absolutely nothing.
So what is the?
It was their deliberate decision. It's not based on cost. If this watch cost $1,000, it'd still do exactly the same thing.
What does the microcurrent do out of the box?
Exactly what it says.
Okay. So
come on. Give me a break.
I think we got a little off track here, but maybe you're right about this.
You're completely off track. You're missing the entire point.
What I'm saying
I was talking about. Just like most of the people who watch my video, you just don't get it.
Okay. Aside from that, I was just trying to take a dig at you there. Aside from that, you're saying
you can't take a dig if it's incorrect, if it's not justified.
I can dig it.
If you're fundamentally wrong.
Yeah. But what I'm saying was talking about was low cost driving innovation, right? And the reason I was talking about that was because of how that drives new technology, and I was talking about that in the Innovator's Dilemma when you started talking about Clay Christensen, blah 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 blah. But what that ultimately comes down to in the Innovator's Dilemma, have you ever read it or no? You still haven't read it.
Oh, I tried to. I didn't like it. I thought it was crap.
So
it's so painful to read.
So what he talks about in there, and if you remember, or maybe Bob talked about it when he was on back with Dave Vandenbout. So Bob Davidson, who's been on the show twice now, he actually was interviewed, or he's part of the group that was interviewed for that thing, but basically about the effect of bottom-up versus top-down type of stuff, where basically new entrants in the market start with this low-cost thing, because low cost ends up driving everything, right? So basically, no matter what, how about in your example, right?
Tell that to Tesla.
How about, no, let's use an example from your situation, right? Why is Regal doing so well versus a Tektronix or an Agilent? Not better than, right? They're not better than, because obviously Tektronix and Agilent still doing very well. But why do they even exist? And it's because
it's bang per buck.
Right, exactly. They entered the market with the DS1052Z, or what was that what it was?
Z.
Yeah, Z. Sorry,
not C. Not this USC bullshit.
But the reason the reason they were able to survive, they weren't just crushed immediately, is because they came in at the low end, right? That's what it always comes from. It's always the low end because that's the only entrant point. You can't just come in and be like, well, I have, there's the CC2600's Wi-Fi chip, blah blah blah.
No, that's just in probably the majority of cases that's true.
Right.
Take Tesla, for example. No, they came at the high end. You're saying Tesla's
There's no comparison there.
A success?
Where's the comparison in the EV market?
What?
They're not competing against. They were competing against They weren't competing against an established EV market. They were competing against a completely different market.
There were EVs out there.
No,
there were EVs out there, and Tesla. There were.
Who? Name them.
Bloody Nissan. Mitsubishi. These all
really?
had EVs.
Yeah, no, they were not competing against Nissan and Mitsubishi. No, the IMEV.
No, of course they weren't, because they deliberately chose the top down to deliberately start at the high price.
The reason they had succeeded was not because they were competing against the IMEV and the Leaf. It's because they were competing against a Mercedes S-Class and a Mercedes everything else, right? That's a different thing completely. So that I believe you would call a straw man, I believe. Anyways, the idea is that with all this stuff in electronics, is the reason the Espresso is doing so well is because even with all the complaints on a forum, right? You can get a million complaints on a forum.
I know, it's its price.
Every single time, right?
I totally agree.
Right, because that's how you and I search, right? When we search for components, it's like, oh, okay, well, it has all these absolute must-have features on the parametrics, and it's like, click, search by price.
Okay,
who is this? I don't know. Yeah, it's cheap. I'll try it.
Okay, after all this rabble, we've come to the stunning conclusion that cheap shit sells.
That's right, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Genius. I'm stunned. Jeez, I don't see where all this is going.
Well, you were the one arguing with me. I don't know, man.
What? No, you were the one doing all the talking. You were the one slagging me off because I was talking about the Pebble. You were fundamentally wrong there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can we move on to something else?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I tried to do another live show yesterday.
We've had three shows without just me and you arguing. That's what it is. This is just a build-up. This is a build-up.
This is why our show works. If we were both just agreeing all the time, it'd be boring as bad shit.
That's right. So you said you had a live show yesterday, and you were building a CNC machine. Tell me about it.
I was. Oh, well, nothing to tell. We tried to build it, and we haven't finished it yet.
So I tried to watch the stream this morning.
It takes more than an hour and a half to build. We did an hour and a half live show. It took us an hour and a half to get ready for the hour and a half live show.
Oh, okay.
Because, live shows aren't as easy as people think. We tried using XSplit, right? Wanted to go live on YouTube, right? Want to use XSplit. Whoa, we had no end of problems with all sorts of audio looping. It was so bad, somebody actually came up with a T-shirt on the spot and put it on Teespring for all the audio issues we were having.
Really?
It was that bad. It was hilarious, yeah.
Wow.
It was all sorts of weird popping and motorboating and repeating audio, boom, boom, boom. And we came to the conclusion that somehow XSplit just did not work. It just did not work. It had some fundamental problem with it. And going YouTube low, and then we tried Open Broadcaster software. It didn't work either. It had similar sort of audio issues, and it's got a horrible user interface. It didn't work either, right? So we're dicking around. An hour and a half later, I just go, oh, look, I'll go back to what worked for me before, which was the one recommended by YouTube, which is the Wirecast software, and bang, with a single click, it just worked. Anyway, so that was incredibly painful. So, yep. Anyway, so, yeah. No, it makes me realise that, which I've always realised, but it made it reinforce it again, that if you're going to have a tool for the job, you've got to have a dedicated tool for the job set up and don't touch it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you're doing live shows, have a dedicated computer all set up, the mics, the cameras, everything, or software, all the protocols, all the setup, everything else, all set up, ready to go. Do not use that rig for anything else.
Yeah. We used to have that problem at Keithley. We would have test setups just like on our bench type of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And like, we had a bounty of test equipment, but even still, like you can always use more. And if someone would come by and be like, "Oh, can I borrow that DMM?" It would blow everything apart. It would just be like,
totally.
Like if you have a production environment type of thing, even if it's not in production environment, but if it's just like a standardized setup, any kind of disruption of that, and it's all over.
No, you do. I came from a production environment, and the cardinal sin in a production environment is you steal gear from a production test jig. Like that just upsets the that just
the natural order of
that
things,
can waste the company millions of dollars.
Right, exactly.
I'm not kidding. Right, you do not touch those.
You get something that's like not gauge R&R'd or something like that, and it's like, well, this one just started this new meter. We swapped it out with a different meter, but the new meter was, off by a couple of microvolts or something, and now everything looks like it's failing, and we threw everything away.
And that's why, even when I left there, what was it? Is it 7 years ago now? I don't know. But even then, we were still running Windows 3.11.
Oh, wow.
Right, and LabVIEW 2 or something. It was still running all that hardware because it worked. You just do not touch it.
Yep.
You get that production jig working and you just maintain it. That's it.
Yeah, I've had. Yeah. I knew some of the test engineers that would go out and go on eBay and buy computers that were like. I'm sure we've talked about
an old
this
Windows
before.
3 computer.
Yeah, right.
I encountered this the other day. Right, I just shelled out, going, oh look, screw this. I need a proper, dedicated industrial thermal printer for printing my labels. Right, so I got one of these Zebra printers. Right, they're like the de facto industry standard label printer, right? I'm sick of using freaking laser printers and inkjets that just break down and they just, never work, right? Pain in the ass. So I got this proper Zebra printer, cost me like $500 or something, and it comes with a parallel port, right? This is like their brand new model, right? It does not even have Ethernet in it. You can buy one with Ethernet in it. It's like $300 more or something, right? But it comes with Centronics parallel port and a USB port as well. But why does a brand new product come with a Centronics printer port?
I can tell you the exact reason for that.
Exactly.
No. It was actually what we were talking about earlier in the show, where you have 5 customers, and the 5 customers are telling you that they all have parallel ports and that they better have parallel ports on the new machine that they just get. So yeah, that's exactly why.
It's backward compatibility with old, in this case, old production test systems. People, there's big warehouses everywhere that they don't want to change their system. They don't want to change their drivers because they just bought their printer broke down and they want to buy a new one. Right? The new model must be backward compatible.
Yeah.
Must have that Centronics parallel port on it.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, that's that's what those industries. That's how those industries continue to work.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Anyway, live shows pain in the ass. So anyway, that's the plan. Set up a dedicated machine and just stick with it and don't touch it. It just works.
Nice. Yeah. So I've been thinking about this stuff. Not for. I've got my recording
You've got your rig
set up. No problem there. But I've been thinking about this actually for kind of just like the stability of a setup over time, and thinking about like, especially if you're like making the same board over and over again, and having a set of components and stuff like that. I know you've talked about project boxes in the past, right? That's kind of how you do it. When you're per project, you'll have a box just for the parts.
A box is just for the parts for that project, right?
Yeah,
yes.
So one of my students started doing, and I've actually seen this once or twice before online, but I had actually never seen it with the specific thing. But postcard holders, have you ever seen that? So like binder based
postcard holders.
So like they're actually like you can get like collection if you collect postcards or I don't know, like 4x6 like photos, I guess.
So they're almost like a photo albums you're talking about.
Yeah, almost like photo albums inside a 3-ring binder. And so he posted about this, about like for component storage, and then he started doing the same thing with like if he got like a label printer as well. And I was just like, oh man, why? Like honestly, like I've been doing like kind of like the project box type thing, but kind of ad hoc, where it's like every time DigiKey sends me a box, I just kind of maintain that box and. Ugh.
Right.
So
I've actually got plans in this area. I won't say too much more, but plans are afoot.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
In this area.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be switching over to binders because, like, the other thing is like, especially. So I used to do. I think I've talked about on the show before. I used to do file folders where, and that was like for like I would. I'd have reels of resistors and baggies type of thing, or reels of LM317s or tubes of 317s, that kind of thing. And then I would just throw them in a file folder in like the little dangly folders that kind of hang in a file cabinet type of thing. And that worked okay, but that still was like, you still had to kind of sift through it, and it wasn't labeled. And I just really like this binder idea. I know that binders are not new, but something about it just kind of struck a chord with me where it was like, yes.
You can buy these on eBay. You can buy, like, the resistor and cap packs on eBay, and they actually come in binders. Some of them come in binders.
Right, and I've seen those, and those are for, like, the cut tape, but they're, like, a very limited length and width and stuff like that. I wanted it, like, because I always buy, like, 100 or 250 at a time, and they're already all rolled up, and I wanted a place to store those, and that's kind of the real thing there, so...
Right. So you need more of a pouch that you can put the DigiKey bag, anti-static bag into.
Yep.
That's what you're talking
about. Exactly right. Yep. So that's kind of coming for me. I don't know. We'll see how that all works out because I don't know about you, but like when I was like in school, I used to like rebel against 3-ring binders. And
right. Okay.
So we'll see how that actually works against reality. But I think it's a really good solution. So I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
Anyway. Yeah, and we'll see what plans I have afoot in this area.
Oh, yes, right.
Eventually.
Dave also has something going on there.
Well, along with quite a few things, I've got something going on.
Right, Dave is
they might eventually pop out the end.
Right.
Somewhere. Yep. Well, they may just, go on my dead projects pile.
That's okay.
We'll see.
Yep.
Not enough hours in the day.
What should we talk about next? We've talked about some of this stuff.
People wanted Chip of the Week. People wanted Chip of the Week.
Yeah, they did mention that.
So many people wanting Chip of the Week.
So you have one.
I will give you a Chip of the Week.
Okay.
It is the here we go. It is the AD8232. The Analog Devices AD8232.
Tell us
about
it.
It's a specialized chip, which I love these specialized chips. It's an ECG heart rate monitor front end. And I am working on something at the moment that requires this little puppy. And instead of like rolling your own front end with your instrumentation amp and everything, right, this does it, and it gives you an audio output, right, that you can just feed into, any sort of ADC type or any system that can, a sample audio. For your ECG heart rate. So it takes care, it's the 3-wire system that takes care of, measuring your ECG heart rate signal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Neat. Yeah, it's all just taken care of in that one chip.
I think the key thing with a lot of these ECG and similar body signal systems is actually not necessarily the instrumentation amp. I think is really well characterized. It's actually the it's the driver circuit, right? So you're driving current against the ground loop type of thing, right? I mean, that's kind of the idea.
Yep.
So, and the price on this one actually looks really good too. I mean, like really good, like $2, $3 type of thing.
Yeah, you can buy like a fully assembled board from SparkFun for like $20 or something.
Oh, that's even better.
Like a board which is populated, it has all the labels, and you can just wire it up. And
I'm just looking at like single quantity price, like $3, $5. Yeah. That's a nice
for a specialized application like this. That's right.
Well, because I've seen similar chips before that are like, oh yeah, $25 per chip.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so.
But sometimes you have no choice, right? Because that chip is the key to your product.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yep.
So, sometimes you just got to pony up. All right?
Sometimes, yes. Wow, Dave.
What?
No, that was just like really good radio. That was really good radio.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Making pony impressions.
Oh my god. Yeah. So that's good. And like people, like you said, people are asking about the chip of the week. So we will try to get more of that in there. They
Endeavor
also asked,
to do a chip of the week.
They also asked about so I asked about in the survey about what's your favorite part of the amp hour, and people were like, "There's parts."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
yes, there's
right.
parts. Just. Oops, sorry.
Professional Chris Gamble.
Sorry.
Jeez.
But anyways, yeah. I don't know what I was saying now. But yeah, there are parts. Damn it.
Damn you. You don't understand our show, listeners.
Yeah, seriously. We have structure here somewhere. We'll find it someday.
Yeah, because we because that's how we started the show. I mean, we started it because that's we thought how you had to do a show like this, or whatever. We thought that was the best way, and we tried to have those different segments, and in the end, it just, I don't know, within a dozen episodes, it sort of fell into just a rabble, just a free for all.
We used to do history. We used to do history as well.
Yes, that's right. God, yeah.
Actually, there was some.
Wow.
I put some history on here about Einstein the other day. Oh, where was it? It was something about Einstein. Basically, it was like 100. I think it was when. Oh, I think it was when Alicia and Chris were on. It was the Einstein. It was the 110th anniversary of the theory of relativity, of general relativity, being, or maybe special.
Yep.
But being submitted to the patent office.
Right. Okay.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
That was 1905. Or did he submit it in 04?
No, I think it was submitted in 05, but accepted in 06 type of thing. But all that stuff, it's like all of these things are like base 5, base 10, like totally arbitrary. Like, okay, maybe 100.
Yeah, right.
But even still, like, yeah, it's a long time in the past. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Is it really history just because it's the same day? I don't know. So I'd rather talk about current stuff anyways. One thing that I did want to mention that was from a long time, not a long, 2 weeks ago. Did you see the link I posted about optically clear aluminum provides bulletproof protection? Did you see that article that I posted?
I did. I saw you posted it, but I didn't click through.
Do you know
transparent aluminum?
Do you know why I was so excited about that?
Well, it was in the Star
That's
Trek,
right, Star
episode
Trek 4. Right, where he goes,
yeah.
Where they traded it for like plexiglass,
yeah.
and then Scotty's talking to the computer. He's like, computer.
Oh, a keyboard. Just use a keyboard. How quaint.
Right. Yeah.
And he just uses the Macintosh to,
and then he's typing away with one finger at a time. Oh man.
Yeah, even though the Macintosh can't do shit with keyboard only, can it? I don't know. Right. So, it's just
I know. And these are like the silly, like some of this is like this could actually be really cool, but it's like one of those like what's that one, fizzorg.com or fizz.org or whatever, I forget what it is, but it's always like these, nanowires doing crazy thing, and it's like, well, we could talk about this, but the chance of this actually happening, it's like, this is research
right, yeah,
takes
totally
like we talked about earlier in the show, right? It's like, okay, even if you get it to the point where it's commercially viable, where you have 5 customers buying it, right? Like Dave's former company buying it for $100 a pop type of thing at 10,000 at a time. That's great, but that's not like wide adoption. A wide adoption.
No, as we always is you can buy it on DigiKey. We always say that
right?
here.
Yeah, exactly. That's
call us when you can buy it on DigiKey.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly right. I mean, honestly, and to be honest about that too, we should be honest about that too. By the time you can buy it on DigiKey, it's almost commodity. It's not quite commodity because they have a lot of parts and stuff like that. But come on, if you can buy it, it's not specialized. There's nothing special. It's not that it's not special. It's that you're not doing anything in the supply chain where there's any risk associated with it, because you're not going to them and be like, okay, well, I'm the one buying this, or I'm one of 5 companies buying this. You don't have anything that someone else couldn't just go and design, right? Like, what are you going to do? Oh, well, I put a different value resistor on there. Yeah, well, Dave just ripped apart your damn product, and he can see what the value is. He can measure it. You know, like, that's the difference. Like there's no mystique there unless you're moving it onto chip type of thing. So by the time you can buy it at DigiKey these days, it's almost commodity. Granted, you know, there's such a wide spread that it's not really commodity, but you know, like that's a thing. You know, like if anyone can buy it, then anyone can do what you're doing. You know, like there has to be some secret sauce in every product, and if it's on DigiKey, it's reliable. It might be reliable, but it's also not secret sauce. That's the corollary to Dave's. If you can buy it, you know, if you can buy it on DigiKey thing. So I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah.
So so transparent aluminum is like, so they made it in a lab somewhere.
I think that would be if you can buy it on McMaster. Right. That's the difference.
So you can buy it at Bunnings, local hardware store.
Right,
Here's my transparent aluminum sheet.
Right.
You know, It does the same thing as, 10 inches, but only does it in 1 inch thick.
Yeah.
That's from the movie.
Yep.
Yep.
So
how do we know he didn't invent the thing?
Yeah, exactly.
We're changing the future.
So
that was fun.
Speaking of teardowns, so we did. Sorry. I mentioned teardowns like you always do them, but I was actually interested to see as well this one, the coin card. Did you see the coin when that came out?
The coin. I have no idea what the coin is.
So the coin was supposed to be like a. I'm not sure actually how it happened. I think you might enter the credit card info online. I think, but basically the idea is that you somehow collect all of your credit card info into a single source. And then you just carry this one source around with you, and then that can do RFID type of authentication, but also I think it could do swipe authentication as well, where it could emulate your swipe, the swipe magnetics of your normal card.
Right.
And basically it could kind of do everything.
Who the hell swipes anymore? Like, seriously, in this country, we don't swipe.
Right, you guys do chip and pen.
We all have smart cards, so we just plug the... Like, either we tap it, like, so if it's under $100, we tap it. If it's over $100, we have to plug it in and the chip.
Yeah, and then you do the PIN number thing. Yeah. And actually, that's just started coming to the States. Actually, we're way behind on that because I know that Australia and Europe.
Yeah, totally.
When I was in Europe, that was the same thing. But yeah, so this, and maybe that's the downfall of this device, but it's interesting just from the technology side because when you have to emulate that magnetic strip as it goes through a reader.
I'm looking inside the teardown here. Yeah, they've got two big coils, like long coils in there to emulate the magnetic.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. And I mean, like, it could be also used for nefarious purposes.
That's got redundant written all over it, like, because like the magnetic strips go on the way of the Dodo. Well, it has here, so
you can't even do it there anymore. Like they won't do it.
Oh, well, you can, but nobody. Well, I think you can. I can't remember the last time I did it. Can't remember the last time I actually magnetically swiped. There might be a few old readers around which I've done it, but they're most all are the chip and pin.
Interesting. No. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting from a market fit type perspective, where it's like, well, we have this technology now. Anyone?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because this person did a teardown.
I mean,
this is actually, it wasn't a Kickstarter, but it was a pre-purchase type thing. And maybe the pre-purchase, like they took a while to deliver as well. So maybe they just waited too long. I don't know. I mean, obviously this is because this one broke, but.
So what's the idea here? You replace every card in your wallet with this one card. Is that the idea?
That's the idea. Yep.
Right, so you only have to carry one card. Well, how does it do it for chip and pin?
I have no idea. Like, literally, I have no idea.
I don't even think it does.
I don't think you could because you'd have to have some... I mean, because the chip and pin has, like, authentication, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like...
Yeah, it's got authentication. So this would be useless here in Australia. If you could copy it...
Well, it's got RFID on board.
It ruins the whole chip and pin system.
Yes.
Right? It just... Yeah, right. So... I don't... know how that can be of any use here at all. But granted,
I don't either. Honestly, I have no idea. But
the coin card.
Yeah. No. It was very highly anticipated around here, and then it took a while to deliver.
Right.
And then obviously this guy did a teardown. So But teardowns are like I think you'll agree that teardowns are interesting, right? I hope so.
Yeah, no. I'm having a look at the photos now. Yeah, absolutely fascinating, right? I
can't tell what the it says it's the Nordic 822. Yeah, so the Bluetooth. Yeah. So yeah,
I like the concept of being able to hold all your magnetic swipes on the one thing and then be able to swipe. So it's only for swiping, right? So it doesn't do like PayPass or anything like that.
No, I think it's got RFID on board. I think so. I think
it's got RFID.
I think that's what
once again,
Square is. Yeah.
I thought that was like a secure system, and if you could copy that all into the one card, the system would be broken, right? So
I don't know. It's getting into the realm
how
of
they can
like hashes and all the security of the crypto crap, and I just don't get that. So
right,
yeah,
no. I thought the idea of the chip and pin is that it is secure, and somebody can't duplicate your card.
That's right, because there's some kind of like talk back type of thing, like where it's it
some
does
single way hash or something. I don't know. We're talking about our security assholes.
I'm talking about my hash right now. Yep.
Right. I do like how they've integrated the coil in there to emulate the magnetic field for the thing. I think that's quite novel.
That's very cool.
As I said here, that's like, it's pretty much useless here.
Yeah.
So, interesting. You backward Yanks.
Yeah, right. We're the backwaters of the world here, Dave. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of magnetics, did you see the upgrade from Tesla?
Isn't it? Yeah, some
ludicrous
some
speed.
Detail on that. Ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Ludicrous speed. It's like they've got some now. It's all to do with the fusing. Apparently, of the battery pack, they upgrade your fuse, smart fusing. So they can give you like an extra 20% peak current or something.
Right, and what that really,
without blowing the fuse.
So the big thing you get with ludicrous speed is basically the acceleration. And if you think about that, if you talk about like a motor, there, it's like about the current dump into the motor in an instantaneous way. And the reason there's fusing there is because if you do too much, flames come out.
Fusing's always a balance. Like you want to protect your battery pack, which can explode, but you want to give enough current to your circuit for peak stuff. So fusing is always in a lot of product design, is a big trade-off.
Oh, see, now I thought the fuse
you want to be as safe as possible.
I thought the fuse was in line with the motor, not the.
Oh no! I thought it was in the pack.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
It was, it's in the pack. Yeah, they upgrade the thing in your pack because you want it. A big part of the Tesla, you've basically got a bomb there, right? This is almost what certainly brought down the that MH17.
The flight,
or whatever it is, that plane that's still
lithium,
missing, right? The flight that's still missing, right? It was there. Yeah, everyone says, most likely, it was the 2 tons of lithium-ion batteries on there,
Right, and they have had fires with that kind of stuff, too, in the airlines.
They've had fires, right? And, so this is like one big fire bomb thing waiting to happen in Tesla, and a core part of their technology is safety.
Okay, so the idea here is actually that the limiting factor was the battery pack. I see now, I thought it was against...
Yes.
When you limited what was coming into the motor, but it's actually what's limiting what's going out of the battery. Okay.
Yes, because as I said, it's a big trade-off between safety. You want to protect your product. You want it to be safe and not catch on fire and explode.
Right.
But you want to deliver peak currents. I mean, it's,
Right, because the battery is also the
requirement.
naturally limiting thing because it's internal resistance and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the motor's just copper wire, right? It'll take as much, as long as you cool the thing, it'll take as much.
See, that's what I was thinking about.
As you can dump in there,
because
right?
it would take as much as you give. That's why you would limit it, but it actually makes more sense on the battery side.
No, it's the batteries and the interconnects and everything. They've got these huge ass interconnects and everything else, right? So. Yeah, so they're getting that down. So you can put your Tesla in for an upgrade for this ludicrous
Dave, I don't know, man. You're like 10 years my senior. I think that you're closer to getting a Tesla than I know that there's like all the import crap, but like I think you need to get one first.
They're $150,000 here.
But that's Australian dollars. It's basically fun money.
Yeah. Because our Australian dollar is shit.
Yeah.
Right? At the moment, it's like 74 US cents or something.
Oh, is it
right?
really that low?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and it's going lower, right? It's trending lower.
Wait, does that mean if I go there that I'll get showered in gold? Is that like the idea?
Yes, you can live like a king here. Yeah, you can.
Going to
So
Australia,
you can buy
guys.
one of our overpriced Sydney houses for a reasonable price.
Well, I'd just probably rent one for a couple days, but yeah, that works
Right.
too.
Yeah, no, you can.
I can like eat a
Yanks
kangaroo
come
for
to
like
Australia.
less than normal kangaroo
can.
prices.
Yep, your Yankee buck goes a long
some,
way here now.
what do you guys
Not as
call
much.
it?
Like it's
Oh,
gone as
skip.
low as 50.
Skippy.
Right, Skippy. Yeah, you can eat Skippy.
Yeah.
It's gone as low as 50 cents before. It won't go
Really?
that low again.
Oof.
I don't think. But all the talk is it's trending towards 65,
Good Lord.
maybe.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Perhaps, like the most pessimistic person is saying 60. Kind of. But it has gone as low as 50 before. And yeah, so if you came to Australia, your Yankee dollar would instantly buy twice as much here. And
Bonus.
and that was a big deal. We actually had a lot of American investment when it was that low. A lot of Americans would come here and set up businesses, and they'd buy property and houses and businesses and all sorts of stuff. And then when it went back, and then it went back to $1.10,
Yeah.
where our dollar was actually stronger than your dollar.
Right.
It was worth more.
Right.
And then it's flipped around again, and bloody currency.
Yeah.
Currency's pain in the ass.
So
I'm following it
if
closely
it
at the
drops
moment.
low enough, I can get like the office space next to yours, and I could just like install a speaker there and be like,
Right. Yeah.
so I'd be like the virtual office mate, like I'd be like
Right.
playing music at all hours of the day, type of thing, streaming audio.
Oh dear. Dear.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
yes, perfect time to come here for a holiday, dude.
Okay, I'm thinking about it. I've had some people.
Yep.
I've talked to some people about it. Obviously, I've talked to you about it before.
Yep.
But yeah, I've talked about it. Just gotta. I think I would go there when it's freezing cold here.
I was going to say summer will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
Our summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Maybe
Yep.
we'll get there someday, folks. Me and Dave shall meet in person. We'll shake hands,
Because I'm not getting to the US.
and
so
then
it's not gonna
probably get in a fight.
happen. Right. Drunken pub rule.
Right, if you drank,
the
then
chip
definitely.
printer's never going to work. Take this, you bastard.
Right. Oh man.
Ah, dear.
So let's see. We've talked about a lot of stuff. The only thing I haven't talked about. So I've been doing hot plate stuff. Finally, all these years later. Just like how we haven't met all these years later. I haven't done hot plate stuff.
Yeah, but you're doing it lame. Haven't you upgraded to like a toaster oven?
I have a toaster oven. I've been afraid to turn it on, to be honest. So I bought like
Pussy.
a $20, just a skillet from like Walmart with just a
Right.
big hunk of
Yep.
aluminum in the middle as like a heat spreader. And it's worked okay. Really, it's about. I've been too lazy to get stencils, but everything
Right.
else is.
Yep.
I mean, like obviously, like this is nothing. Like
So
literally
how
nothing.
do you apply
new.
your paste? Do you go around and individually syringe?
Yeah, I got like so I got
paste
the
on each one.
Pico, which I think we've talked about on here before.
Yeah.
The little syringe thing.
And people think that's a dumb way. It's not. If you've got a smallish board,
Yeah.
it's just easy to get there with the syringe and just go squirt, squirt, squirt on
Yeah.
each pad. It doesn't.
Right.
And in fact, with like you don't even with like if you've got a quad flat pack chip, a 44 pin or whatever,
Yeah.
even a huge one. Like it's not like you go around and you have to dab paste on each one. You just do a line.
Right.
You just do a line across, and the solder mask takes care of it. Like the surface tension and the solder mask take care of everything. You don't end up with
the
shorts.
key there is just not too. Like my big problem is like I'm like, oh well, I should use a ton of solder paste, and it's like that's the big problem.
You should use.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should probably err on the less side. You could always solder wick it off later, but yeah, like it doesn't take that long to get the hang of like how much you should probably
Exactly,
put
and
on.
it's like
but you should put less than you think.
right. A couple of Oshspark boards later, and I'm like, oh, like this,
Right.
Like as long as I don't burn
Yeah.
myself, I'm doing okay now, basically. So
So
Yeah.
so you don't need stencils. Like if you've got like a lot of passives and stuff like that, yeah, it's a pain, right? You got to go around and squirt every pad, right? But if you've got like a lot of chips, then you don't need a stencil. Just
yeah. Yep.
just a line on all four sides, or if you've got an SO package, two lines of paste,
Yep.
done in half a second.
I think the hard part
know?
is just so like in the past I've been doing a lot of double-sided boards, and it's really I mean you can do the double-sided and just do the top side as reflow, but like Like even then, like
well, that's if you're doing double-sided. This is where your heat. This is where you'd use your heat gun instead of the skillet. So you do one side, right, and then you'd put your paste on the other side and your chips on the other side. Then you just go around with the heat gun, and that'd instantly
right. And I've been mixing those two as well.
Rather than using oven.
And that's how I was watching your video as well about just like stenciling and stuff like that. And like so, the real thing about it is like honestly, what it's come down to is So I've been searching for parts recently, and it's just getting to the point where it's like probably half the parts, you know, depending on what you're going with, like just all of the silicon processes that are going on, and then because they want to reduce inductance and capacitance up to the chip type, like everything's just getting smaller and smaller by necessity, and it's really starting to limit me. I mean, like I can't even get some certain parts. Where I'm like, oh, well, that's a DFN. I don't want to do that with, you know, I don't want to hand solder that. It's like, Chris, you can't limit yourself there. You know, like you're literally cutting out half of the parts in the ecosystem now, and it's just not realistic anymore. So, yeah, I don't know.
They're still pain in the ass parts. I don't like them. I still sometimes just refuse to use them.
I still haven't done BGA with just a stencil or anything like that. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. I have done stencils. Stencils are interesting. I've done Osh stencil. That was a good experience so far. But I don't know. Not there yet. So it's worth trying for sure.
Totally. Yeah, I'm going to do more soldering videos, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yep. I want to do like a summary video. I want to do, this is the plan, I'll tell you the plan, because my soldering video is very popular, like 500,000 views, right? But they're like 40 minutes long or something crazy, lots of babble. I was going to do like, you know, top 5 tips in 5 minutes, you know, kind of, right, like a real just, dumbass 5-minute summary. You know, really quick and, you know.
No. I think that kind of stuff's good, though. I mean, like, that's kind of quick hit stuff that a lot of people like, so... Yeah.
Anyway, that's the plan.
Okay, cool. I like it.
All right. We're way over time.
We are. I should announce I'm going to be in Boston starting tomorrow. Well, it's probably today if I'm going to be posting this episode tomorrow, but I'll be there through Friday. There is a Hackaday event that I'll be at, and everybody's welcome to attend at Artisans Asylum on Thursday night, the 23rd. So come on out to that. There'll be beer and pizza, I think, and stuff like that. So, and talks and blah, blah, blah. So we'll try and televise it too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Also, Sydney Maker Fair in like 3 weeks or something. I think it's like the 15th, the weekend of the 15th of August.
Okay.
Am I right? I'll just have a quick... Yeah, the 15th and the 16th.
And you will be talking... You'll have a booth or just giving a project, or what are you doing there?
No, I'll be there. There's no plans to give a talk or anything.
Okay.
Or no. Unlike last... like, if they ask me, then I might give a talk. Mm-hmm. I haven't got any plans. I'll just be there. I'll be there for the 2 days, I believe.
Okay, great.
Haven't talked to the wife yet, but I assume I can get both days. And I'll be roaming around, so I'm not hard to find. I'm the guy carrying all sorts of camera gear.
He's the loud
around,
one.
So.
He's the loud one, folks.
The loud one. Yeah. And hopefully I'll have a little project to show off. But anyway, that's...
Do you guys do like meetups while you're there or anything like that, or no? I mean, like, do you have like a pub meetup afterwards or anything?
Oh, well, I thought about that last year, and it just all didn't come together.
I'm telling you, man, just find a local pub and just be like, we're meeting here at this time, and that's all you need. Like, literally, that's all you need for meetups.
Yep.
Buy your own drinks. You know, like, that's...
Yep. Yeah, no, totally. I was going to... Yeah, I might organise something this year.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if so, we will definitely post that to the Amp Hour subreddit, and people should definitely check. There's actually a bunch of other links that we didn't get to today. A lot of cool stuff on there. Mostly because we didn't... we've had 3 guest shows in a row, but you know, that was awesome, having all those guests on. So definitely check out the subreddit. That's always a good time, and there's some cool stuff on there. So...
Cool. And I'll also mention I've got T-shirts available again. I've got my Flux Capacitor one, which I don't make available all the time. It's for another 5 days. Okay. With the Back to the Future, the October 21st deadline coming up, you want to have a T-shirt to wear on the day.
Yep.
And this is the one. So
so one more thing about this. I was looking at my phone today, and I have an AccuWeather app, and it has a minute cast. And I was looking at it today because I was going out to walk my dogs, and it was raining, and then I saw it was like it had like the thing to the minute where it's like it'll stop raining in 15 minutes, and it did. And I'm like, this is like Doc Brown when he goes back into the future. You know what I mean? Like 2015. Yeah. I'm like, it's the future.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's not hard. You just watch the radar. I can do that. They have radar. I'm going to go. Yeah,
right, but it has a minute cast, Dave. That's what I'm saying. It's like it tells you the rain will stop in 1 minute. Like that's so great.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, dear.
So,
all right.
I'll talk to you next week. We have a surprise guest already scheduled and everything. So it may be an Aussie.
Woohoo! Woo! I know who it is for a change.
Yeah. See you then.
Catch you next time.
Bye.